So we move on to our next project, which is find the average value of in our data grid. So first, we double click on our form UI to get our form template skeleton. So we move on to declaring the columns and data grid view one dot column count is equal to 2, meaning the number of columns we expect should be 2 in number. So data will be 1 dot columns index 0 dot name is equal to item 1, which means the first column should be named item, and data gives you 1 dot columns index 1 dot name is equal to price, and the second column should be named price. So we added some rows to it, which is the data grid view 1 dot rows dot add with some values in it, apple and 5. Same applies to the second one, which has values banana and 3.5, orange and 4.5, 4.25, and grapes and 6.75. So we in total added 4 rows. So we double click on the we double click I double clicked on the button UI and with the private sub button one underscore click, which we type is good. Then so that button one underscore click have this code and is involving the code dim sub and the others, which means when you click on it, this functionality will trigger. So dim sum as double equal to 0. So they are declaring two variables, sum which has data type double and is initialized to 0, and that of count which has data type integer is also set to 0. So we have a for loop which is for each row as data review row in data with one of rows. So we look through all the rows. This for loop looks through all the rows. If not, is new row then. If not, row dot is new row then, which means if the row has no data in it or it is like the new rows. If it is not such type of rows, then if the rules we have is not such types of rules, then we declare a variable val as string, which is equal to root dot cell dot price dot value dot to string. So we extract all the values in the price column. So if and which are converted to string, they are already string. So if it's numeric, so we convert the val which was initially a string variable or has a string data type to numeric. Then sum plus equals convert to double val. So sum plus, which means the same as sum is equal to sum plus val. So since we are looking through so since we are looking through the rules, we move to the first we initiate the first loop, and it should be 5 plus sum, which was set to 0. So it will be 5 plus sum is equals 5 plus 0, which will give us 5. We look through again to be sum is equal to, so after we look through the first one, sum will be 5. So now sum value will be 5. So when we look through again to be sum is equal to 5 plus 3.5 give us 8.5, and move on again to be 8 sum is equal to 8.5 plus 4.5, and in that order until we are done looking through all the rules. And when we look through to the count also keeps on incrementing or until we are done looping through. So count plus equals to 1. So after every loop, the count increments by 1, by 1, by 1, which gives us the total counts in our loop. So which means the first loop has an index of 0. So which becomes is equal to 1 plus 0. The second has a value of an index of 1, which we count, which is now 1 plus 1 to give us 2. The third has a value of m. The third also gives us an addition of 1, which will be causing it to what? Increment. So then define a variable which will store the average value. So we name average as double, and that's a data type of double. So we have a conditional statement here which is if count greater than 0, sum over sum divided by count 0. This means that if the count is greater than 0, because if you are dividing sum by count, if sum is 0, like it becomes undefined, or it is a negative number, it becomes undefined. So if it is greater than 0, then the division can take place, or else it should be what? The output should be 0. So the answer is stored in the text box 1 dot text, which is equal to rv dot to string f2. So we take a look at how the UI is. So now this is our UI. So we click on the average button, and this is the average of all the values here. So that's all we have. Thanks.